Couple turned subdivision into a late-night racetrack, complete with a crash. Stoplight spray paint fight. A banana pees on the sidewalk and then runs from the police. Woman drives 2 hours to murder estranged husband. Mom got you upset? Run her over with her car. Man pays off loan with fraudulent bank account and then sells the car. Twice. Police using a drone to search the neighbor's house? Why not shoot it down? Drunk driver makes very bad choice of escape routes. 15-year-old watches YouTube video about stealing Kias. Thinks it's a good idea. Grab a coffee or whatever beverage you enjoy with YouTube. Sit back, relax, and let's talk about some dumb criminals. Take a guess how many are from Florida. I'll keep score for you as we go. Late night racetrack. In November of 2023, Polk County, Florida was experiencing the wrath of a serial car thief. So when they received a call of possible car theft in Perversion Point near Davenport, they responded quickly. Upon arriving, they attempt to stop a 2006 Cadillac CTS, which flees at a high rate of speed into the subdivision. Since the subdivision only has one exit, the cop just blocked the exit and waited instead of attempting a high-speed chase in a residential neighborhood. Other deputies were already inside the subdivision. The Cadillac sped past one officer, turned around, came back, and crashed into the car that was parked next to the police car. At which point, Timothy Haug and Rebecca Kozub were arrested. He was hospitalized with a fractured leg. She was treated and released to police custody. He has a neck tattoo that reads "All gas, no brakes." Her mugshot is from another incident later in 2024. Stoplight spray paint fight. On August 4th, 2023, police in Houston, Texas responded to a bizarre call. Two SUVs pulled up to a stoplight. When the light turned green, the front SUV's driver was distracted by his phone and didn't pull out. The SUV in the rear honked at him. The SUV in the front began moving, but also began throwing objects out the window at the SUV in the back. When the two vehicles came to another red light, David Winston got out of his vehicle and confronted the driver who had the audacity to honk at him for sitting still at a green light. Winston unleashed an attack that included spray painting the victim's vehicle and face. The victim also spray painted Winston's face. Both men used white spray paint. The victim was not arrested. I guess he was released for self-defense. Winston faced several felony charges and could serve several years in jail. Which makes me wonder, did the victim get the spray paint away from Winston, or does everybody in Texas just drive around with a can of white spray paint in case? Banana Man strikes back. In late October 2023, a man approached a police car and pointed out another man dressed in a banana costume urinating on the sidewalk in Key West, Florida. The officer looks and indeed sees a banana peeing on the sidewalk. So the cop does cop stuff, attempting to stop the man and cite him. The banana takes off running down the street using a zigzag pattern to avoid capture. Eventually, the cop catches the banana and uses a leg sweep to take the banana down. Police determine that the suspect is Kyle Mortimer, a 20-year-old Massachusetts native attending Miami University. Which makes me wonder exactly how intoxicated someone has to be to attempt to flee from the police while wearing a banana costume. It's probably not quite as drunk as one must be to urinate on the sidewalk across the street from a row of public porta potties. The long road to jail. On September 20th, 2023, the police responded to a call about a shooting in Prescott, Arizona. When they arrived, they discovered 80-year-old John Pasqualito with a gunshot wound to his wrist. They quickly identify the perpetrator as 62-year-old Christina Pasqualito, John's wife. The couple owns two homes, one in Prescott and one in Gilbert, Arizona. If you think that second town sounds familiar, it's because that's where Lori Vallow was when she participated in the murder of her husband. John and Christina were in the process of a divorce, which is why one was living in each home. Christina drove over 2 hours from Gilbert to Prescott to confront John about the divorce. She arrived a little after midnight, woke John up, and started arguing with him. When John informed Christina that this behavior was not going to change his mind about the divorce, she shot him in an attempt to kill him. She's a horrible shot, and even at point-blank range, only hit him in the wrist. He pushed her to the ground, left the home, and called the police from a neighbor's house. Christina was not only still on the scene when police arrived, but she admitted everything and was booked for attempted murder, which is just more proof that mentally stable people do not marry people that are 18 years older than them. Don't run Mom over! On October 12, 2023, police were summoned to Temple Street in Cocoa, Florida. When they arrived at the scene, they found a woman in critical condition after she had been hit by a car. It was her car. Her daughter, Amber Sharon Rusnick, was driving it. Apparently, Rusnick and her mother had been arguing about something. Details of the argument are not available, unfortunately. Apparently, Rusnick had beat her mother and then stolen her car and run her over in the process. The car was located abandoned on the other side of the city. Police summoned a canine unit and quickly found Rusnick hiding nearby. She was taken into custody, several charges were filed, and this creepy mugshot was taken. This is Rusnick's 10th arrest since 2018. Maybe she's smiling because she feels like she's going back home. So kids, if you're arguing with Mom, stealing her car and running her over with it, probably not a good way to win the fight. Teenage supervillains forced retirement. This case isn't so much dumb as it's just completely insane. It starts when Zachary Bailey was 17 years old and his at-the-time girlfriend was 15. Bailey was in Missouri at the time and his girlfriend was in Corpus Christi, Texas. Zachary commits some type of bank fraud to purchase a BMW for over $50,000. 2 days later, he drove that BMW to Corpus Christi to visit the girlfriend. This is what Bailey looked like when he was 18. How does this dude buy a $52,000 BMW without anyone making him wait a couple of days until the funds clear? But anyway, we're in Corpus Christi now. The teenager decides that bank fraud and theft by deception isn't exciting enough. Bailey heads over to Scrubs R Us. You can't make this shit up. That is the actual name of the store, and there is one of their ads on your screen right now just to prove it. Where Bailey purchases $41 worth of scrubs, which is the total investment in his medical education. Bailey heads to Corpus Christi's Bay Area Hospital. At the hospital, he went into HR and asked for a badge claiming he's a traveling physician's assistant, which is a real job. I checked. I was hoping it wasn't. The actual HR staff was out of the office. The desk was manned by the volunteer coordinator who had been told to make badges for staff members that requested one. So when Bailey asked for a badge, she asked for his picture and made him one. Which is why she's no longer the volunteer coordinator. For almost a month, Bailey impersonated a physician's assistant. He accessed several sensitive areas of 2 hospitals using his badge. It is unknown if Bailey actually attended to patients during this time. Eventually, an astute ICU nurse realized things weren't adding up and Bailey's treachery was uncovered. But before that happened, Bailey also used the ID from the hospital to rent an apartment. He claimed he made $28,000 a month. For the math challenge, that's $336,000 a year. In case you're curious, that's about 3 times the average PA salary in Texas. So basically, dude walks into Encore 2 apartment complex, looking 12, shows a PA's badge, claims to make 3 times what a PA normally makes, and they rent him a pad. I am not upset that he left a $3,700 bill behind. Police found out about this while investigating after the ICU nurse reported Bailey. After talking to Bailey for a bit, the ICU nurse didn't think things were adding up. She searched his social media up and the truth was revealed. When Bailey was arrested, he was in possession of a ghost gun, which is a homemade weapon without a serial number. When police searched the hotel room he was staying at, they found a bulletproof vest, a gun belt, ammunition, and a t-shirt with sheriff printed on it. So Bailey was arrested right before Bailey was granted bond. A month and 192 GPS violations later, Bailey was rearrested. In a plea deal, Bailey got a 6-year suspended sentence. That means as long as he abides by the terms of his community order, which includes probation, the convictions will be removed from his record. He requests that his community order be transferred to Oklahoma. But then he moved to Oklahoma before the request was granted. He didn't even try to hide the fact. He posted pics of his new pad. He posted pics of himself flashing cash. He even posted a video of himself wearing scrubs. KRIS 6 News out of Corpus Christi found this while they were writing an article about the case and reported it. Bailey was ordered to return to Texas immediately. Remember that bank fraud that started this whole case? Well, Bailey did the same thing while he was in Oklahoma. It works like this. Bailey has multiple accounts at multiple banks. He deposits a check from one of these accounts into another account at a different bank. For a short period of time, the bank receiving the deposit will show a fraudulently inflated balance. While the balance is fraudulently inflated, you make a big purchase, which is theft by deception. Bailey used this method to purchase a Tesla for $61,000 from a private seller on Facebook Marketplace. When the bank revoked the deposit from Bailey's account, the Tesla owner contacted authorities. His car was located and police uncovered other scams by Bailey. A little over a year after he got that PA badge in Texas, Bailey pulled into Cooper Auto Group in a 2003 Acura MDX on April 19, 2023. The car was nearly paid off and Bailey was looking to sell. After confirming that less than $2,000 was owed on the car lot wrote Bailey a check for just over $46,000 to purchase the car. Guess what? Bailey used his bank scam to make it look like the car was almost paid off when it was not. Remember how this is a Dumb Criminals episode? Well, this is the point where we go from insane to dumb. On May 1st, Bailey goes back to Cooper Auto Group. This time he's in a 2023 Toyota Tundra. The loan company confirms that only $2,244 is owed on the vehicle. They give Bailey a check for $64,256. Yeah, you heard that right. The same car lot bought two cars off Bailey 11 days apart. If you're wondering how he got the cars in the first place, he used the same bank scam to make huge down payments. It was less than 2 days between purchase and resale of both vehicles. Also, that Tesla was purchased in July. Somehow, this car lot had no idea Bailey had done this until the police came to them. Remember, Bailey is only 19 now. His wife is only 17. When Bailey started doing all this, he was only 17. I have no idea how a 17-year-old figured out how to do all of this. But dude could have been a criminal mastermind if he wasn't intent on committing 30 years worth of crimes in just 2. I shot down a UFO, or was it a police drone? On July 11, 2021, police were using a drone to assist in searching a 10-acre plot of land in Lake County, Florida. Police hear a gunshot and their drone falls from the air. Police quickly determined a rough trajectory for the shot, and it had come from the neighboring property. At that property, police found Wendell Goney. Goney told them he shot the drone down with a .22 caliber rifle. Goney also told them that he's not allowed to possess guns or ammunition because he is a convicted felon. When police ran him, they found 29 previous state felony convictions. Since the ban on felons possessing weapons is federal, this is Goney's first federal charge. He pleaded guilty. Details of his sentence are not available. If you're an aspiring criminal, just remember that it might not be a good idea to destroy police property with a weapon you are legally not allowed to own. Don't hide in the sheriff's backyard. In October of 2021, Deputy Tara Collier was patrolling Carson City, Nevada, when she spotted a car going approximately 15 miles per hour over the speed limit. She runs the plate, and it comes back registered to Sean Sully, who has a warrant for felony drunk driving because it's his third drunk driving offense. Sully pulled over and took off on foot. Citizens hearing the commotion came out and attempted to assist the police officer unsuccessfully. The man jumped a fence into the backyard of the sheriff, who actually apprehended the man. Witnesses were heard yelling, "Wrong backyard!" as deputies removed Sully from the property. The sheriff had no weapons or flashlight on him, as he had simply been enjoying his evening with his wife when he heard his radio and started assisting the deputies. Sully was charged with a fourth DUI after admitting that his girlfriend had made him let her out because he was driving drunk. Look, if you're driving drunk, maybe don't actually just tell the police that. Stealing a Kia is easy, driving it is hard. On July 19, 2023, police responded to a burglary call at Cape Guns in Cape Coral, Florida. A person was reported tampering with the front windows in an attempt to illegally enter the store, presumably with the intent to rob it. However, the thick plate glass window did not shatter like it does in the movies. Instead, the hammer simply created a hole in the window. The suspect fled in his vehicle when police arrived. Police pursued, but the suspect lost them, until police noticed a freshly damaged street sign with a trail of car fluids leading away from it. At the end of the fluids, police found the car they had been pursuing, which had obviously been the one that took out the sign, which police report was standing there doing nothing, as it is an inanimate object. Police quickly located the suspect, still dressed in all black, wearing a ski mask, running along a nearby canal. In case you are unaware, not very many people ski in Florida. The suspect also had a hammer, heavy construction-style work gloves, and a screwdriver on him. The same screwdriver that had been used to start the car in the first place. So, police booked 15-year-old Micah Abernathy on burglary, possession of burglary tools, grand theft auto, criminal mischief, leaving the scene of an accident, and loitering charges. Let's wrap this video up, shall we? To quickly recap today's cases. Timothy Allen Hogue and Rebecca Kozub turned a Polk County, Florida subdivision into a late-night racetrack complete with a crash. David Winston spray-painted another driver's face white in Houston, Texas. Kyle Mortimer peed on the sidewalk and ran from police in Key West, Florida. Christina Pasqualito drove over 2 hours and attempted to kill her estranged husband in a bizarre plot to reconcile with him in Arizona. Amber Sharon Rusnick racked up her 19th arrest by stealing her mother's car and running her mother over with it in Cocoa, Florida. Zachary Bailey impersonated a physician's assistant and committed several thefts by using fraudulent bank records in several states, none of which were Florida. Wendell Goney used a police drone for target practice and then told police he wasn't allowed to own or possess a gun in Lake County, Florida. Sean Sully was driving drunk when he fled from police and into the sheriff's backyard in Carson City, Nevada. Micah Abernathy was driving a stolen car while breaking into a gun store in Cape Coral, Florida. Looks like the final score for today's dumb criminals is 5 from Florida and 4 from literally everywhere else. Looking at these cases has provided us with some generally good life advice, including don't marry someone 18 years younger than you, as well as arguing with mom is okay, but running her over with her car is not. And don't try to run from police in a highly recognizable outfit like a banana costume. We also repeatedly learned that waiting for police to arrive after committing a crime is generally a bad idea, and self-snitching is a surefire way to get a one-way ticket to the county lockup. If you're an aspiring criminal, I hope you took some notes on this video. If you're a law-abiding citizen who just thinks that people making dumb mistakes and telling on themselves is funny, do my people! Leave a comment, let me know what you think of all this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Remember that as always, super thanks and channel memberships are super cool. And now I got a jam, so tag, you are it.